Hey guys, Jeffries here and welcome back to Football Manager 2017 as Hatfield Town. There have been a lot of changes since the last episode. None of them were really noteworthy as such. Let me tell you what I mean, because it sounds a bit all over the place. But basically, the squad itself is pretty much as it was at the end of last season. We have had a couple of new signings. Let's have a look. We got Steve Burgoyne. Burgoyne? Yeah, Burgoyne. He's joined us on loan from Burnham. No, sorry, Bath. I'm going to scout Bath again. He's joined us on loan from Bath. He made 2 appearances last season for Burnham. In the Hellenic Premier. Are they above us? They're above us. Oh, wow. Assuming this is accurate, they're quite a way above us, because we're here. So if we have to go through here, we might have found ourselves a bit of a gem. Plus, Bath are in the Vanarama South, so he's joined us on loan. We also have Michael Johnson, a goalkeeper. He has joined us on loan from Met Police. Used to be at Stotfold, which is actually quite near to where I am. Went on loan to, or just went to Hitchin, sorry. Joined Met Police on a free transfer and joined us on loan. Again, he's already made some appearances in this division for Stotfold. Apparently didn't concede any goals. I don't believe that, somehow. And we also got Liam Gooch on loan. And this is the one I'm most pleased with. He's on loan from Luton. Again, good signing for us. I'm going to quickly scout them again. They're in League 2. He's actually made an appearance for Luton. He made 1 appearance for them last season, conceded twice. We'll ignore the conceding thing. Because if you actually look at his star rating here, it's very, very high. Plus, some of our existing squad has also improved. Sean Bird, I believe he's new. I want to check this actually. Is he new? He is new. Signed him on a free transfer from Hastings Rangers. Used to be at AFC Wimbledon. Scout you as well. Apart from that, it's pretty much as you were. Brad Coggins, is he new? He is new. How am I forgetting all these people? Unbelievable. But, in terms of our actual squad, we have loaned out some players. Dean Griffin's gone out on loan. Aaron Adamson's gone on loan. Mohamed Jass has gone on loan. Charles Tierney's gone on loan. In terms of other players, we have extended contracts of Jeffries, Felix, Herville, Durl, Hood, Ryan, and we did manage to keep Dinsmore. He is still with us. And if it wasn't for his injury, he would probably be starting in today's match. But unfortunately, he is injured. How long did it say he was out for? 1 to 6 days with a calf strain. Not ideal. Also, Charlie Binns was out injured for 4 to 5 weeks for a sports hernia. We've also lost... We had lost Tope Fadua. He's back now. But we have lost Manny Akioto, so we're going to have another right winger play. We're probably going to have Herville start in that case. But yeah, the squad itself is looking quite good. On the staff front, I've done some moving and shaking. So we have a new director of football. We have Kevin James now as director of football. You can see his stats are much better. Judging player ability and potential is much improved. For some reason, attacking and defending and things like that are highlighted. I'm not sure why. Let me go into this. That's why, because I had him as a coach. So yeah, his stats for director of football are pretty good. New assistant manager, Tom Betteridge. Again, look at his stats. Attacking, defending, fitness not great, but we're not too worried about that. Attacking and defending are the ones that really stand out for me when I'm looking at coaching. We've got a new goalkeeping coach, Aaron Hyde, goalkeeping of 16. He's also good with fitness, so he helps out there as well. And motivating, quite pleased with, and determination. So again, quite pleased with that. Coach-wise, Dominic Haller, I believe this is... Actually, no, I don't think this is the guy we had before. Again, attacking and defending, quite high. And I think everything else is the same as it was. Oh no, Lee Allen, I think I brought in as a new scout. Or was it Sheridan Driver? Maybe Sheridan Driver. Again, good stats for a scout. And because of that, we've had a pretty even pre-season, I would say. We didn't spring many surprises. I'll show you the schedule quickly before we play today's game. Today's game is against Harrowby in the FA Cup extra preliminary round. We actually start the FA Cup campaign before we start the league campaign. For those of you who think the FA Cup starts in October, you're wrong. For those of you who think the FA Cup starts in January, oh boy, are you wrong. If you're a bottom league team, you start literally at the start of the season. That is when your cup competition starts. I'll talk you through the pre-season friendly then. As you can see, we had some disappointing results. We only won once and we drew a match. But you look at some of the teams we played. Aston Villa, Birmingham, AFC Wimbledon, Brighton, Bolton, Welling and Corby were the ones I was a little bit disappointed in. As you can see, the Welling game was actually quite close. Corby not so much, although Clifton scored, which was good. Clifton scored again here as well, which was good, and Akioto. We also had Joe Hood sent off. Not great. Brighton, you actually look who scored for Brighton. Rowan Ince, Anthony Knockhart, Jordan Maguire-Drew is a player who I'm aware of. I have signed him many times on Football Manager. He is obviously a reserve player. You can see he plays for the under-23s. But they did name a pretty strong team. Bolton named a very strong team. Both of their goals coming from first-team players, Zach Clough and Jay Spearing. So I was quite pleased in some ways to see that they were playing first-team players. Same with Wimbledon. Lyle Taylor, Dominic Polian and Will Nightingale all scored for them. Birmingham, again they had Kieften Beld playing for them, and Fabrini played for them. I don't know who Brock Madsen is, I must admit, so I'm not sure there. And then Villa, they had Jack Grealish, Jonathan Codger and Ross McCormack score. So, they had their reserves out, as you can tell. No, they all played their first teams, so I was quite impressed, actually, with the performance, especially here, to score twice against Brighton, was quite a surprise. And we also got a goal against Birmingham and Villa. It was Binns who scored against Villa, and it was Akioto who scored against Birmingham. The other matches, as I said, a 2-2 draw against Cambridge City, Tope Fiduwu and Jaden Doyle getting the goals. That was it, really. This was a campaign to get us money, though. We sold out for 5 home games in a row against these clubs, so that was quite impressive. That's where the money came in, and that's how we were allowed to get extra coaches. I actually had to go to the board and ask if I can hire extra coaches, which is how we got in Aaron Hyde as a goalkeeping coach. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be with us right now. But I felt we needed a goalkeeping coach because goalkeeping is something that, if a midfielder's not playing well, you can sort of go out and get another midfielder. If your goalkeeper's not playing well, other teams are very reluctant to let their goalkeepers go to other teams. So it's quite difficult to replace a goalkeeper. So you want to make sure that goalkeeper is getting the best possible coaching available to them. And as you saw, our goalkeeping coach also covers fitness as well, which is why I went for specifically a goalkeeping coach and not just a coach or a fitness coach. I went for one that specialised with goalkeepers for the reasons I just gave, but he also happens to be pretty good at fitness as well. Anyway, we're going to go into today's match. So you're going to see me pick the team. What are we? 9 minutes in and we're only just getting into the game. Okie dokie. I need to learn to stop talking. Let's clear the team for a second. We'll start from scratch, shall we? Now, I'm very tempted to make Charlie May my sub-keeper. Obviously, Gooch has to be in goal. That's what I signed him for. We will come back to the sub-keeper in a second. I'm going to put Ivy Ward at right back. I'm going to put Oos at left back. That leaves me with the centre-backs. Max Hallett has to be one of them. I think he goes on the left. Yeah. And I believe Ellis Sands goes on the right. Or is it the other way around? No, I think it is that way around. Or is it it might be Coggins I'm thinking of. No? Who is it that I have play centre-back? Adol Priest, I think it is Sands. Plays alongside Hallett. Midfield, we're obviously going to have Joe Hood on the left, where he's always played. Now the right hand side is a little bit trickier. Obviously, season just gone, we had Ryan playing there, but because Binns is injured, I actually want to play Ryan there. It's not his chosen position. As you can see, he's not the best at it. He's actually sort of joint best with attacking midfielder as he is advanced playmaker, but I'm going to stick him there. And I'm going to try Burgoyne. Yeah, I'm going to try Burgoyne there. That's not bad. Left hand side we're going to have Peter Smith. Right hand side we're going to have Jaden... Oh no, we can't have Jaden Dole, he's injured. That's fine. We'll have Henry Irville on the right hand side. And then up front we will have Danny Clifton. Okie dokie. Now the bench is going to be May. Why am I doing it like that? I don't know. May. Oh, how good is Cunnington actually? Yeah, okay, we'll have Cunnington as a sub because he can play on both flanks. We'll have Bird and Coggins. Midfield subs we'll have Mitchell and Bailey. And then as an attacking sub we'll have Fidowi. Actually, where does Bailey play? Did not check that. I think I might have Bailey start instead of Burgoyne. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, so that's the team. So you got Gooch in goal, Oos, Hallett, Sands and Ivy Ward across the back, Hood and Bailey across the middle, Smith, Ryan and Irville across the advanced middle, and then Clifton up top. Let's play some football, shall we? Now I've been playing this on my laptop whilst I've not been recording, and I actually found a Sky Sports style skin, which I haven't used for this episode. The reason being that it is quite cluttered. It's very blue for a start because it's Sky, very blue and very red, and it is very cluttered and things are sort of moved around. It's one of these things with skins. People move buttons around and they add extra buttons in, like some skins contain an instant result button, which you don't always get with, I mean, I can't find it with the default game. I'm sure it's hidden somewhere. Not that I want an instant result button, but when you're picking a team with the Sky Sports one especially, here is submit team, and what is normally submit team is instant result, and I nearly fell foul of that. So that's something that I just wanted to warn you guys about. I might bring in the Sky Sports skin for an episode or two and just get your ideas as to whether you like it or not, because it does look quite cool. It's just a little cluttered. That was my only complaint about it. But I'm going to stop talking now. Or I am going to carry on I'm going to do a commentary, but you know. I'm going to stop talking rubbish and actually get into the game. This question actually, Max Hallett takes the captain's armband today. What do you see in him as a leader? I kind of want to go with this one. This is for administrative purposes. Because actually, my real captain is Craig Mitchell. Here. And Dinsmore is my vice captain. So I don't want to be making false promises to certain players. Because they're not first choice. They're not first choice as captain. They're not first choice as anything. Really. Let's be honest. The reason some of these players are playing is because other players are injured. Which sounds a bit cruel to say, but it's true. And I'm sure in real life situations they'd know it's true as well. For example, Clifton's only playing because Dinsmore is injured. Smith's only playing because Durl is injured. Irville's only playing because Akioto is injured. You get the idea. Alright, free kick in, cleared. Clifton with the head on. Comes to Smith. We left 3 players forward on that set piece. That doesn't sound right to me. It's supposed to only be 2 players. But then it forced them to leave another defender back, so it didn't cost us too much. There's Bailey with the ball forward. Clifton's brought it down. Oh, goal! Danny Clifton, inside 6 minutes, has scored. That's a very Dinsmore-esque goal, actually. Maybe they've been swapping tips on the training ground. You see here, he shook off the defender, ran through 25... No, that's about literally 18 yards. Took strike, left foot, top corner. Fair enough. I did say he was only playing because Dinsmore was out injured, but those two will actually be competing for a starting spot. I'll be rotating my strikers, I'm sure, as the season goes on. Whoever's in form, basically. I don't want to drop Dinsmore because he scored us over 30 goals last season, but at the same time, I do want to keep Clifton happy as well, because as you can see, he's perfectly capable of scoring goals. And he made himself a bit of a nuisance there too. And Smith with the ball round the corner. Clifton is running onto it. Shot with his right foot that time, off the post, off the keeper. It's going to go down as an own goal, but, you know, Clifton again doing a good job. Getting the ball in a good space. Making himself a nuisance. It was his header that caused that in the first place. He obviously has some pace about him. Manages to get through again and hits the shot. Wasn't the best shot in the world. It did hit the post, as I say, but I suppose the fact that it hit the post and came back rather than just hit the post and went out, it wasn't far off being on target. But it is an own goal. But we're 2-0 up, so how could I possibly be complaining? I'm actually quite pleased with the way the team's playing, which is quite a common occurrence for me, to be perfectly honest. I am very, very happy with the team. I think the team as a whole is doing a very good job. I'm just extending this window a little bit more. There we go. I'm sure I'll change the sizes again in the future. Oh, that's not good. I missed a goal. Eddie Errington scored. Gooch is supposed to be a really good goalkeeper, and I literally just looked up to see the ball go past him. Let's have a good look at this one, shall we? Let's have a good look at this. So Rhodes to Greer. Fullbacks both playing him on side there. I know this is it's a game and it's an animation and it's not necessarily what the keeper actually did, but it really just looked like he put his hands on his knees then and let that go past him. I really hope that's not the case. That would be very frustrating. Also, why is Mark Clattenburg refereeing this match? It's an FA Cup preliminary match. There's literally no reason why a Premier League referee would be refereeing this match. I wish they'd fix that. It almost feels like a bug. Oh, Hood. Free kick, well saved, and Smith wins the corner. I did not realise we had players that were capable of hitting free kicks like that. I will have to have a look at set piece takers again, actually, because some of these players will have developed since last season. That's one of the things I like about playing with teams like this, is you can see a gradual progression. You can watch players develop as they get older. So we've got a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds playing for the team. Eventually, they will find their level, and we'll have to either loan them out or sell them on or whatever. But at the moment, every single season, they will be adapting to the new league because they are improving as players all the time that the team is improving. And I think the promotion odds placed us just outside the running for promotion. I think it's one of those ones where it said if we put together a good run of results, we have a chance of getting promoted. And that's before we start defying expectations. So really, I'm quite impressed with that, because I had a very, very frustrating transfer window so far. No one wants to join us. The one midfielder I did sign, I then had to release, because it turned out my scouts didn't have as accurate an opinion on him as I was led to believe. So I brought him in, and it turned out he wasn't as good as I thought he was, so I let him go again. No real money was lost, but even so. Oh, Clifton. That was a good goal. That was a good goal. If Herville can do that coming off the bench a lot, I'm pleased to have him on the bench as a player, because that was a really good ball in. And Clifton with the volley. That's our second choice striker, and he's hitting goals like that. As I say, I've had a very frustrating window, but the team we've got seems to be good enough that actually I don't need to be as active in the window as I thought I had to be. It just goes to show. As I said, when you go up the leagues and your players develop, sometimes you don't have to replace them. There will eventually be a ceiling, but at the moment it looks like that ceiling is quite a long way off still. No complaints there. I'm perfectly happy with that. Smith definitely this season looks like one to watch out for. He's put in some very, very good performances in pre-season. As has Clifton. As I say, he scored some goals. Right, we're at half time. Ryan's not had the best game. So what I'm tempted to do is this. And bring on Fadou. As actually, a deep lying forward seems to be pretty good for him. Clifton, is he good as a poacher? He is good as a poacher. No, I think advanced forward suits him. And Fadou as support. Yeah, quite happy with that. And go the old 4-4-2 and actually see how well we play as a 4-4-2. Because that could be an option. If we've got 3 strikers vying for a first team place, and there's only 1 spot available, it can be quite frustrating. But if you've got 3 strikers vying for a place and there's 2 spots available, you know, a third of the problem then disappears. You still have a headache as to who you swap out for the one that's missing out all the time, but you can rotate it a lot more. You can move players around, and these 2 up front at the moment both seem to be able to play a poacher's role and an advanced striker's role. And Fadou can also play as the deep lying forward. So overall, it looks like we've got some versatility up front too. Although saying that, Clifton probably should have made a tackle there. He sort of let the ball go past him a bit too easily for my liking. That was a good challenge from Oos. And a good interception from Hood. And again, Fadou there not quite doing what I expect of him. Bailey with the ball forward. Over the head there. Hervel will pick it up. Crossing opportunity for him. Plays it in low to Fadou. Shot blocked. Clifton wide. Oh boy. If that had gone in, that would have been his hat-trick. And I think... No, it wouldn't be, because he didn't score a header. I was going to say, I think it would have been a perfect hat-trick, but he didn't score a header. He scored a volley, didn't he? So, no perfect hat-trick, but hat-trick still. Can't take that away from him. Plus, I mean, 3-1. 3-1 for the first competitive game of the season after having a pre-season mostly consisting of losses. It's pretty good. In fact, oh, he hit the bar, the rebound. I mean, the resilience of the players is good. You have to be careful when you plan these pre-seasons. You do want to put matches in that they're guaranteed to win as well. Otherwise, morale will drop. I didn't do that this time round because I was thinking mostly of the money. But I did put in some matches against some slightly more even opposition. So we got 1 win and we got a draw out of it as well. It's all about gaining experience at this level too. It's about the money and it's about the experience. They've played against top level opposition now. In some cases they've played against what could be described as Premier League quality. So, yeah, I mean the experience they've gained is good. They now need to take that experience into the league and start performing. The morale seems to be okay at the moment because we're 3-1 up, and actually team spirit is pretty good too because everyone's still together from the season before. We have lost some players have left, most of them were fringe players anyway, and the ones who've been loaned out, they've been loaned out to aid their development. I've got scouts keeping an eye on them, I'm getting constant feedback, Griffin especially, and Tierney. I've got them being scouted and I've got match reports being sent back. I'm keen to keep an eye on their development because I want them to do well and I want them to be able to come back to Hatfield and stake a claim for the first team. Right, Oos with the ball in. Ivy Ward brings it down. Why is our right back in the box from a throw-in? I have no idea. It's another throw-in, so he'll probably stay there as well. That's not what I like to see. Especially when there's 20 minutes left still. And, you know, if they sneak a goal, suddenly it becomes very open again. I don't particularly want that to happen, and they're on the attack right now. And it's their goal scorer, Errington. Out wide to Carver, back into Errington. And it's Parkinson. And Gooch has just let it go past him again. What are you doing, Gooch? I'll make another sub, because I'm not happy with that. Our midfield seems to go walking at times. I'll bring the captain on to sort things out. Bring off Hood. He's on a yellow. I'm going to bring Coggins on for Hallett as well. excuse me. I just had a cough then. Took my headset off so it wouldn't be too loud on the audio, hopefully. That's a really disappointing goal to concede. Even from an attacking point of view, you don't want to be scoring goals like that, because from a team perspective, they're good goals. Everyone gets a touch, but when you look back on the highlights reel, that's the one that you're going to fast forward through, I'm sure. Certainly the one I'd fast forward through. And that's a really disappointing goal to concede. I'd like to win by more than a goal. First of all, I'd like to win, because there's still no guarantee of that. There's 15 minutes left. But I'd like to win by a considerable amount as well, just to sort of up the ante a bit just before the season kicks off. So that we're not just here to make up the numbers, we are here to put in a genuine title contention, hopefully. Oh, Smith. That was unlucky. Got into that central position. Again, not really sure why. But it nearly paid off. Herville with the throw to Ivy Ward. Back to Herville. Dinks it in near post to Clifton. Pulls it back to... Was that Oos? What's he doing up there? Why is our fullbacks coming up for throw-ins? That should not be happening. I'm going to have to go in and check that. Alright, Smith with the throw. Sorry, with the corner. Goes out for a throw. That's what I was going to say. So we're probably going to bring the keeper up for this one as well, because we seem to be bringing everyone else up for throw-ins right at the moment. So, yeah. Right, 10 minutes to go. And they're on the attack. That's not good. Although Sands with the challenge and the clearance and the pass over to Clifton all in one. That was quite impressive. He's found Fadowu into Bailey. Back to Mitchell. Okay. Clifton. Fadowu. He's hit it. Oh dear. Not good. I nearly signed another striker because I saw his stats and his finishing was somewhere between 13 and 15, which for this level is ridiculously good. Unfortunately, I agreed to his demands, which was first team football and played in his preferred position and preferred style, which is fine, because striker and goals is what I wanted. So that was perfect for me. The only problem was he wanted £600 a week. The highest I could offer him was 60. So you can kind of tell that that deal didn't go through, which is again disappointing. There are some players in the Football League who don't even earn £600 a week, and that's what this kid wanted. He was only 18. You know, it's not like he was 24, 25, proven goal scorer, played at the highest levels, blah blah blah. No. He was an 18-year-old upstart who thought he was bigger than his boots. But, no. So that deal didn't go through, which is a shame. Because I could do with another striker to really sort of push us forward in the mid-season when things start taking a bit of a slump. Well, I was saying that, if Clifton scores this one, which he has, that's his hat-trick, if he can perform, he and Dinsmore will cause trouble. But I'm just not exactly happy with Fadowu's contribution. So I feel like he needs to maybe be moved on and bring someone in to take his place. So I'll be looking to do that off camera after this episode. I'll be scouring the transfer market mercilessly between now and the start of the league season, and also between the end of the between now and the end of the window. Again, because we're in the lower leagues and things, I'm trying to move the series on at a bit of a pace until we get sort of into the Football League at least. So there'll probably be 2 or 3 episodes from this football season. I seem to be quite happy doing that. You guys seem to be quite happy seeing that. Again, it would be the usual thing of if there's any massive changes, or if I have a particularly busy January, then I will bring you guys back for that. But I think at the moment, for me personally, it's about just playing the game, getting to grips with the game, because there's a lot of new things still that I haven't really played around with that much, and just building a good team that can win things, and then get us up promoted as high as possible. once we start looking at getting into the Football League, I'll start slowing the series down again and actually start showing more matches per season. But I know you guys don't want to be watching 20 games a season in this league because you want to see the promotions as fast as I do. I play every game, don't get me wrong, I don't sim any matches at all because that feels like cheating for me. But I know if I was watching this series, I would want to move things along a little bit quicker for the first few seasons at least. So that's what I'll be doing. If anyone doesn't want me to do that, then let me know in the comments and I'll start slowing it down a bit more. But right now that is the attitude I'm going to take. Right, we won 4-2 guys. It was good in the end actually. Clifton's hat-trick, that's the one I'm really going to focus on. I'm just going to check quickly what division Harrowby are actually in. I'm hoping they're in a league above us, but I'm starting to think they might not be. There's no way I'm going to find them on that list. Every single team in existence seems to be on that list, and it's done in alphabetical order. I don't fancy scrolling all the way down to H. Let's bring this back from simming forward because I want it to go too fast. As you can see, our first match in the Spartan South Mids Premiership is against Sun Postal Sports. I love some of the names in this. It's so cool. Some of the names that you get. I was looking at this actually. Who was it scored against us? It was Errington, wasn't it? You, sir. Can't even access your profile. These guys might be worth having a look at actually. You are in the United Counties League Premier Division. It's not the same one as we're in now, is it? What are you? Harrowby. What league am I in? Spartan South Midlands Premier. So I'm there. They're in this one, aren't they? Okay, so they're the league below. Still, I'm not too upset about that, because I think, actually, we did well. You could easily slip up against teams below you, so I think we did well. Right, yes, end of the episode, guys. So as I say, we'll probably come back. If I have a busy January, I'll bring you back at the end of the January window so I can show you what I've done. If not, then I will bring you back towards the end of the season. Maybe show you a couple of matches towards the end of the season. And hopefully we'll get another promotion. So until then guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And of course if you enjoyed the series, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. Or doesn't really work with this series, does it? Drop some comments down below for ideas for tactics, signings, training, that sort of thing. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. It's not like I've been doing this for 3 years or anything. 3.5 in a month. Crikey. But anyway, thank you very much for watching guys, and until next time, I will see you soon.